The Uniswap airdrop was worth over $10,000 at its peak. The Ethereum name services airdrop was worth almost $15,000 for many people. In fact, airdrops are one of the best ways to go from having zero or close to $0 in your crypto wallet to having thousands of dollars. Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get crypto airdrops in 2022. As always, nothing I say is financial advice. This is an educational video. Now, let's get into it. The most valuable airdrops can be found by using protocols that don't have a token yet, and then getting airdropped their token when they do launch that token. Uniswap, for example, did not always have a Uni token. When they did launch the Uni token, they airdropped it to people who had used their platform. And many of those people, like I said before, made thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, depending on when they sold those tokens. DYDX, another platform, airdropped their tokens to users. Ethereum name services dropped ENS tokens to people who had bought .eth names. Paraswap airdrop tokens. There's just many more examples of this. And you might be thinking, well, why would a protocol want to do this? The answer is quite simply, first, it rewards early users, and that's a good way to make people loyal. Second off, it builds a strong community around the protocol. And third, it starts to build up a hype cycle as people who get the airdrop get excited, start posting about it, and start trying to convince others to then use the protocol, of course, because they want their tokens to be more valuable. So this is where the most valuable airdrops will be found. And the best resource that I like to use for this is DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama is my go-to resource for most things related to fundamental analysis in crypto, especially for pulling data. And DeFiLlama.com/airdrops has a list of protocols that don't have their own token yet. And as you can see here, there are hundreds at the time of making this. There's around 300. So you can go through these, and by default, it's sorted by when it was listed at. So you can see some were listed just today. What I like to do is sort it instead by TVL. And the reason for that is that bigger protocols will tend to have more valuable airdrops if they ever do one. So you can see some of these have hundreds of millions of dollars in TVL. I would, if I were looking for airdrops, just to go through this and start looking at which of these do I think could reasonably do a token, and then just doing some basic activity on the platform. So for example, Atrix, I'm not too familiar with this DEX at all, but what I would do is if I wanted to make myself eligible for this airdrop, then I would probably do a couple swaps on the DEX. I would maybe provide liquidity for a little and then pull it out. Probably doesn't matter how much you do, just to make sure that I had some activity on record if they eventually do an airdrop. And by the way, something to consider with this is that a lot of people try to game these airdrops, and that would mean they send money back and forth between a few different wallets to do activity on these platforms and try to get the airdrop on multiple wallets. A lot of these platforms, if they see you're doing that, sending money back and forth between two wallets, they'll just exclude both of those wallets from the airdrop. So don't do it. But if you do it, be sure to have two wallets that aren't connected at all. Seed them from different exchanges. Don't have anything connecting them, so that way you won't be excluded from the airdrop. Second place that I like to go to find these sorts of airdrops is airdrops.io/speculative. And by the way, I'll put all these links down in the description as well. And I go to specifically the potential airdrop section on this website, although there are other sections as well that have things like airdrops that happened in the past if you want to track if you were eligible for any. But here you can see that there's, again, just a lot of protocols with a suggested action to make. So you can almost take some of the thought out of it and use this as a guide for how what you need to do to make yourself eligible for all of these airdrops. And I think there's probably going to be a lot of overlap between this and DeFi Llama, but if you want to be comprehensive, you would do the actions on both of these. And again, it's a lot. This could be almost a part-time job. Final site that I would recommend going to for airdrops is airdropalert.com. This site has a different sort of airdrop than the previous two sites I showed you a second ago, because on Airdrop Alert, these are actually ongoing airdrops or giveaways for various crypto-related projects. So sometimes if you use Twitter or other social media, you probably see people posting things that are like and retweet this tweet to be eligible for a giveaway, to enter a contest, to receive airdrop tokens, to receive a whitelist, those sorts of things. This is a site for those sorts of airdrops. So most of these won't be as valuable. You're not going to find that $10,000 future Uniswap airdrop on here, most likely. But what you might find is someone giving away $5, $10 in exchange for, usually it is using their application and or taking some social media action like retweeting them and joining their Telegram group. And so for some people, this won't be worth it. I don't use these types of things as much, but if you're starting from a very small account, then this can be a good way to boost your numbers. I mean, a lot of times people will ask me, Patrick, what would you do if you were starting with $10? Because depending on where you are in the world, that might be all you have to invest. And what I would say is I would start doing these giveaway airdrops. I would get that $10 up to $50, $100, and then that's a much more substantial pot to invest in. You're not going to get killed by fees quite as much. And then you can talk about investing in things for appreciation or in using DeFi projects. But in the meantime, I would just look at these various giveaways on here and try to get myself eligible for as many of them as possible. And that's my guide for how to get airdrops in crypto in 2022. If there's any other ways you're using to become eligible for airdrops, drop a comment down below. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.